My name is Kamika Love. I'm a single mom to my son James. I overhauled my finances to pay off over $80,000 of debt, and I teach others how they can do it too. I started the Budget Mom to build a community and find a tribe that really understood my money struggles as a single mom. I worked on my debt-free journey since the time I graduated college in 2011 with a finance and economic degree. A lot of what I learned was corporate finance, but not once during that time did I learn a whole lot about personal finance. At that time, I was married without any children. 3 days before I started my job in the finance industry, I was in a very severe motorcycle accident. So I knew I had all of these medical bills coming in and I didn't know how I was going to pay them. It wasn't until after working a couple of weeks that my financial advisor sat me down and said, "You need to create a budget." And that was the first time in my life anyone's ever asked me to do that. And essentially it was my first step to financial freedom. It was about 2 months after that I found out I was pregnant. I knew I had to get my finances in order, but it wasn't until my son was born in August of 2012 that was my turning point. If I wanted to provide the life I wanted for my child, I would have to get my money under control. At that time, I was dealing with about $45,000 in debt. I paid off all my credit card debt, but I went back into debt after I got a divorce. I was so worried about my son and everything that I put him through with the divorce. I thought I ruined my son's life. And so I bought him things to keep him happy. I probably put over $20,000 on my credit cards. I started recognizing that true happiness isn't born out of the amount of things that I give to my son, but the quality time that I gave of myself to him. And it just clicked. I focused more on the things that were way more important than anything I could ever buy him. I tried every budgeting method out there. I wasn't seeing the progress and success in my life that I wanted to see. And I think a big part of that is anytime you search budgeting, you're thrown a monthly template. I got so frustrated with budgeting, I actually gave it up for an entire year. But during that time, I realized, especially around my son, that if I gave up, I knew that I couldn't provide the life that I wanted for him. So I shifted my mindset. I stopped thinking about everything that didn't work for me, and I picked out the things that I was most successful at, and I created the budget by paycheck method. The budget by paycheck method is comprised of literally 3 different methods meshed into one. It's the calendar method, it's the paycheck method, and it's the cash envelope method. The one thing that I realized on my financial journey is that your financial journey is not just about the numbers. It forced me to learn about myself. And I think that's why it was so successful. From the time between 2011 and 2017, I was making minimum debt payment, which really didn't get me that far. It wasn't until sharing my story turned into a successful business that I really was able to have the funds to make significant progress in my debt payoff journey. And that was the last 8 months of my journey. I wrote my very first blog post in 2016 because I went through the accredited financial counseling program. And when I was learning these things, so many of my questions were being answered. And I'm like, I have to share this. I was making quadruple at the Budget Mom that I was at my day job. But I still continued to stay in the finance industry because I love what I did and the people I worked with, but I couldn't give 100% of myself to them. And that's when I knew it was time to leave. There has to be a change in mindset, because when you start to believe in yourself and your capabilities, something inside you switches. My number one piece of financial advice is to never take financial advice as a one-size-fits-all approach. Creating a budget is literally one of the most personal things you will ever create for yourself. I never thought in a million years I would ever pay off my student loans, let alone pay off all my debt. It's given me the freedom to seize opportunities with my son without relying on debt, and to spend the rest of my life doing the things that I really want to do, and that's making memories with my son.